What's going on, people? So, I haven't done one of those videos where I sit down and unbox a bunch of crap that I bought recently. So, I'm going to do one of those videos where I sit down and unbox a bunch of crap that I bought recently. Because it's been I got some new stuff in over the last few days, and then there's some stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about before. Just kind of keep putting it off. So, I'm going to breeze on through this so that way, hopefully, I can catch a good bit of the Mondo Evil Lynn live stream that's going to be kicking off in about 18 minutes. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so this right here, I had wanted this figure a while ago, but well, there's another version of it. This is the platinum, the Azrael Batman, right? There was another one where it was kind of like it was like a more of like a light gray and blue and stuff like that. And I wanted that one. It didn't work out because I didn't really know about releases back then. But I saw this one at the store that my friend works at recently, and I think it was like 60 or something like that. But he gave me like the employee discount, so that brought it down a nice bit, which is cool. So now I have this one. I would still like to get the other one, but that other one, I've seen it on eBay, and those prices are, it's like, how like sometimes you have the money and you could buy the thing, but out of principle, it's just like, that's just too much for what that is. You know what I'm saying? That's where we are right now. Let's see. So from the Monday Night Wars pack, this is what's that? Walmart is where you can find the Monday Night Wars things, usually online, sometimes in stores. So this is the WCW Ultimate Warrior, right? If you get these all, slap all those pieces together, you can make Dusty Rhodes. So this was probably like the figure I wanted the least out of this pack, and was like the one that arrived in like the best condition, which was crazy. Well, I guess it's not. If you're looking forward to something, that's usually when things don't quite go your way. Also in that same pack was Six, right? It says it on the side there, right? Six, remember that? It's a name that seemingly just died, Like people don't really talk about it anymore, but X-Pac just kind of held a little more weight, right? I get it. And then you have Lita, right? So there's that. And the thing about these is like Walmart's distribution of stuff is just difficult. So it usually just to me makes more sense to go and buy it online if you can anyway. And then you have this here Scott Hall figure that, let's bring that in a little closer for you. Very colorful, this one right here. Definitely like the more colorful of the bunch of the ones that I have. So it's a lot going on there, but I do like it, Gives you that nice 90s appeal and whatnot. Sit those over there. So let's see. We'll do this thing next because this is right here. Where's that knife I had? So these are going to be some cards that I bought from eBay for the Marvel Masterpiece XLs, right? Because there were a handful of them that I needed, right? I'm not too far off of having the full set. But the thing is, some of those cards are just hard to get, right? Because as the numbers go a little bit higher, the ratios get a little bit wider. So instead of like one out of every four at the like lower end, you get into like this one out of every like 15 or 20 at the top end. It's a whole thing. Not a huge fan of it, but it is what it is. The Marvel Masterpiece 92s, those seem like they've been a pretty more even split, which I'm a huge fan of. So I was on eBay looking at things, and I saw a few people that are selling cards individually. They have a whole bunch of them, and you just tell them which ones you want, and it calculates the shipping. So I kind of wish there wasn't like adhesive on the inside of this package, because the cards are just kind of in here, right? So if you go ahead and you are a little not so careful with getting these out of here, you're gonna mess up some stuff. But anyway, so I saw somebody with a bunch of the cards that I needed, and I thought, okay, well, these are for a pretty decent price. So I'm just going to go ahead and get these here right now. I do have 3 hobby boxes and 3 blasters to open up later. So I'll go over these then, but this is going to be some Marvel Masterpiece XL cards. I'm just going to sit these right down here. That's probably fine. It's probably not. I'm probably going to kick those and ruin all of them later. But that's that. Fantastic. Make me a big old mess that I have to clean up later. That's one of the things that kind of sucks sometimes, It's like, can't blame anybody else for like stuff being all thrown about. It's all on me. And this other set of, well, it's not another set, but this pack of cards, same sort of thing. But this time around, they came from Canada, right? Because there was somebody that had a bunch of them locally, well, locally as in within the States. And I think they were actually also fairly close, in proximity. But they wanted all the money, and I was like, I'm not doing that. And these, okay, this person actually put these all into these little plastic sleeves, so that's very cool. So that's kind of, this one is a bunch of, I guess it's mostly what ifs and such. But since these are individual style, like that's easier to show off. These are 5x7 cards. In case you haven't ever seen any of those Excel videos I've done, the Marvel Masterpiece set that came out in 2016, right? They basically just redid that, and instead of it being normal, what's a normal card, like 3x4 or something? I don't know. They're smaller. So instead of doing that, they blew them up to 5x7. Who asked for that? I honestly have no idea. I don't think anybody asked for that, right? Because it's a little ridiculous, to be completely honest. But when I bought the first pack, since they were like readily available, I thought, oh well, if I can like collect these, that'd be cool because I like this art and it's easy to get. So why not? So this is a pack of crap that comes from like this Believe in the Run thing that I did, right? So I don't know. They did do a lot of reviews of things, but they also do like online virtual type races and such from time to time. So over the month of January, they had the Winter Grit thing, which is basically you just go on there, log a bunch of miles and stuff, and see how it all comes out. Then they send you some things for registering for it. So unfortunately, like as you can see, this is a sweatshirt. I may not be aware of this, but I do not wear long sleeve shirts, right? I do have a couple hoodies, like in case there's like rain and all that stuff, right? But otherwise, like, if it's like a normal winter day, I'm still going to be dressed exactly like I'm dressed right now. Though sometimes I still do break out the tank tops and whatnot, sure. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not a sweatshirt guy. So that was just a free thing that they sent. Well, it wasn't free. You get it if you registered. So there's that. This comes from YouTube. Every now and then, like, they send you stuff. So it's not very often. Don't get me wrong. Like, unless you're like super famous, maybe. But if you're like me down on the peasant level, oh no. So this is what they give you. I thought I got some socks once or something. I don't know. So it's just like a little beanie. It's got the little YouTube thing up there. So I mean, it's nice, that they do anything at all. I would kind of prefer them just to like maybe give me more money or something. That'd be nice. More like ad revenue, anyways. But I also don't put a lot of ads in my videos, and that's kind of why I don't make a lot of money on this. So it's kind of like my own fault, I put the effort in, make the videos, but then I just think of the inconvenience of the people who don't have YouTube Premium and having to sit through the nonsense. So, just kind of trying to be somewhat considerate. I figure I have a real job. This doesn't matter, So I'm just gonna lay low on the ads, so that way people can just kind of get through. Anyway, so got a Seth Rollins shirt. This must be coming from Fanatics. That looks really cool, actually. Kind of like a nice little paint job thing going on. Got a little bit of that going on the background. I actually just had a Seth Rollins shirt on recently. Wasn't that? Oh, that was yesterday, right? Yeah, because I was sitting down here doing my foam posit review and my Glycerin 22 review, right? And another Seth Rollins shirt. Little fun fact for you. Well, it's not really fun, but it is a fact. Seth Rollins and I are actually from the same little old town. Isn't that crazy, right? Which is the only reason initially why he became my favorite. Well, not favorite, but what does that say? Visionary. That's what that says on the back. Bring that over just a little bit. Kind of why, like, initially when I got back into wrestling, I became a fan of him because I heard the announcer like talking about him coming from Iowa and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh hey, whoever this guy is, that's going to be my favorite person, right? Because I'd been taking a little break from the wrestling, didn't know who was who. A lot of people that I knew weren't really around so much anymore, so I had to get into the new people, and Seth Rollins was one of them. Oh, this is some. Let's see. This is just some Adidas stuff, normal running gear that I buy, but it also doubles as just like normal workout clothes too. Some nice lightweight shirts and whatnot. It's got a nice little green swirl going on in there. Big front and center Adidas thing. Looks like it's going to be reflective. So pick that up in case anybody is curious which model this is. There you go. Make some sense of that. So, I mean, seriously though, like if you do look up the style code, you'll find that shirt, which is why I often always put the style codes in my videos and in the descriptions and the titles. So that way, if you do care to find whatever that thing is I may be talking about, all you got to do is type in some little alphanumeric code and Google will take you right to it. It's just kind of a thing. It saves me from like trying to have to tell people where I got stuff because often if I have it already, and you're watching the video, given that I'm often behind on the videos, it may not even be on that web page anymore that I bought it from, but you can probably find it somewhere. Or at least find like the same thing in a different color, or maybe like you'll find the newer model, whatever the case may be. They'll at least get you going, and then you can do whatever makes sense from there. This is a record, a vinyl that comes from the Mondo people, right? So there you go, Coraline. I don't know if anybody out there has seen that movie. I'm a fan of it. I actually own the 4K Blu-ray Ultra HD, whatever they call it thing, right? I don't watch it a lot, but it's on the not nightstand. What do you call it? The entertainment stand. So it's a thing that I toss in once in a while, right? Because it just looks really cool, and I like the movie overall. It's a little creepy, I didn't know what I was getting into the first time, but they made me a fan, and so I think I also have it on standard Blu-ray too. But nowadays that stuff is, better. I figure I don't want to be watching it and shortchanging myself. So this, I am hoping that there's going to be something different here. Yeah, okay, good. So this one, as it says down there, Mondo exclusive. So this one, they're both the same album. It's just one is going to look different if you take them out, and there aren't pictures on the back to tell you what they look like. Just know that this is the Mondo one. This one looks like her eyes, right? Right, like her eyes, basically, the little buttons. This one looks more like an actual button, and it just has like some little swirls on it or something like that. Set this down here. So I saw those, like I emailed like their customer service or something, or talked to them on maybe it's on Instagram. I don't know. But I asked them a while ago. I'm like, hey, so what's up with this Coraline thing? Is that just like right now? And if you missed it, you missed it, or because initially it was like a pre-order thing, right? And then that closed, and I was like, oh, like if you didn't pre-order, like, do you just not get it? And they're like, oh, no. We'll have more later. We just wanted to see what the pre-orders were going to be and get those ready. And then like whatever's additional will go out online, like shortly after the new year. And that's exactly what happened. Shortly after the new year, which is where we are right now. How's yours working out? Mine's doing okay. Shortly after the new year started, those went online. I bought the one that I wanted because I was standing right over there. Got the alert from, Gmail saying, hey, Mondo just emailed you. And it was the whole in-stock status has changed to available. I bought it immediately. And then I went back to the webpage, realized there was another one. Bought that one too. Figured, why not? Let's get them both. This is The Art of Spider-Man, right? It's some big old book that I saw originally on sideshow.com. I don't have anything close to me from Sideshow, but I saw it on Sideshow's website. It was like $100 on there, but they had to give me a $20 coupon, would have brought it down to $80. Their shipping is awful, so that probably would have bought it right back up to $100. Instead, I bought it from Amazon for like 65-ish, maybe 70 with free shipping. And here we are, The Art of Spider-Man. So it's got a nice little slip case, the type of thing, and there's going to be like this print. So if you happen to be a Spider-Man 2 fan, I would highly suggest going over there. Well, maybe look it up first. Don't be like me and just buy random crap without looking into it. Look into it, and if you think that it is worth your money, go on to the eBay page, not eBay, to the Amazon page and go buy it, Because if you buy it from Sideshow, they're going to take all your money. If you buy it from Amazon, I get some people don't like Amazon because they think they're like doing bad things and, as far as like local businesses, and I totally get that, right? But sometimes it's just nice to side with like what's going to do the thing the cheapest. And that's kind of where my mind is sometimes. CM Punk, ladies and gentlemen. I was just talking about CM Punk yesterday when I did that Brooks review, because it's like the GTS model. And if you know CM Punk, he has the go to sleep thing. So this is him in his little prison of sorts, right? from Survivor Series. So that's what's going on there. Now, obviously, this is the one where he appeared, right? That's why he's out there just kind of like sitting down or whatever. Not the one where he was actually at Survivor Series to perform. Slightly different. Let's set that over here, right? Let's see what's going on in this next box. This is an international one. So this one is going to be some kind of, what was that thing? Like red? Now I can't even remember the name of it. Some ninja dude, right? I saw it. It seemed kind of cool. So I figured I'm just going to go ahead and get this because why not? Sometimes that's all that really matters. Okay, so sometimes a little bit of information for people who buy action figures and stuff. There are certain things that are imported, right? And oftentimes it's a little cheaper on you if you buy it from where it's being imported from rather than buying something like this from, say, Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, right? Which I was actually just on there earlier today. In case you're not aware, Maximum Spider-Man went out. It's $49.99, normal Marvel Legends thing, but it gets like the Supreme AEW or the Ultimate WWE treatment. Got a whole bunch of extra stuff with it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so if you go onto these other websites, you will see stuff on there, and you'll be able to get it for whatever the actual price is in yen, generally, right? Japanese currency. So you can do that, and then even if you get like the most expensive shipping, which I do because it's like $20 for like DHL or something, but even still, with like the price of the figure and the price of like the high tier shipping, it's still significantly cheaper than if I bought it here in America. And if you use the cheap shipping, I think you still get it in like 3 weeks or something like that. It's more of like a boat shipping than like air shipping. So it's all about how much money you feel like spending. But I'm just saying, it saves me like roughly $30 a figure or something like that sometimes, which is it's a decent amount when you add it up. So this, who is Ninja Gaiden? Why did I think there was an R in that? There is not an R in either of those words. So there's that. Well, no, it says Ryu Hayabusa, so there's an R there. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I don't know. But moving on to the back, that's what this thing's looking like. Pretty cool, right? It might still be in stock. I honestly don't know. But this, I do have some other stuff from the Revoltech Yamaguchi thing. I have a Moon Knight and a Spider-Man of some sort. But another thing, if you buy these things from where they're like originally made, you often get like the little extras that don't come with like the American releases. So this one came with this fancy sword. So that's kind of cool, right? Please agree with me because I spent so much extra time finding this thing. I'm not serious. Like, it's all you have to do, really. Go to, like, I think that was a Hobby Genki purchase. Go on there, or what's the other one? AMI. Those are the sites that I use for like the SH Figure Arts, the Mayfex, the Amazing Yamaguchi. Yeah, go there, look for whatever, or just browse the site. You'll see something you like. The Headbangers. I wanted this set when I first heard about it, and I just kept putting off buying it, and I don't even know why. This is one of the few tag teams that when I was younger getting into wrestling that I really liked, and I actually I think I have that shirt now, and I still will watch them. Like, well, I won't watch them, but I'll still like look up them every now and then, see like what they're doing, if they're still active or whatever. So when I saw that they had signed a Legends deal with the WWE folks, I was like, oh, well, does that mean we're getting some shirts and some action figures? And apparently it did. So now I have a shirt and some action figures. I will say this, though. Those little 2-packs that came straight from Mattel Creations, used to be kind of like their Matty Collector, what they did back then. That's kind of what it is like now. But either way, bought it straight from them. I mean, stuff's a little expensive, man. Like, everything's a little expensive, I guess. So you got to want it. Or if you're early enough or just pay attention enough, you will often see some of that stuff pop up on Ringside Collectibles. And then, since they often have sales, or you can use like Chick-fil-A for 10% off, then you can get that stuff a little bit cheaper. So kind of all in like, just being a little attentive to the releases and stuff. And sometimes you're not, then you just kind of miss out. This is a 2-pack. So you got Big Boss Man. Excuse me, I'm looking at Big Boss Man. You got Bam Bam Bigelow on the other side, Big Boss Man. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Why not, right? Well, if I can. Ah, that's how they get you. It opens from the side. I feel like those other ones open from the top. Could be wrong, though. It's been a while since I opened one of these up. So, like I said, Big Boss Man, right? There he is, old Ray Trailer. Remember that Hell in a Cell match he had at WrestleMania against The Undertaker? No? Yeah, most people don't. And then, like I said, also Bam Bam Bigelow. And as I look at this figure, this is an ultimate, right? As it says, it's an ultimate 2-pack. But this Bam Bam Bigelow looks almost exactly like the Bam Bam Bigelow on that shelf right there. So, I mean, it's going to be newer. It's going to be the ultimate, so it's going to have the better articulation and all that stuff. And down in here, usually in the bottom of the box somewhere, are like the extras, like the extra hands and like a nightclub type thing or whatever. So all that stuff is probably in there somewhere. But yeah, the 2-packs are very cool, whether it's like the standard little tag teams, those were elites, or if you're going and getting the higher tier, the ultimates, it's something pretty cool. I like the packaging, and they usually do pretty all right with like the 2-packs as far as like the people that they package together. Let's see, I think I got one that was like Jake the Snake, and who was in that one with him? For some reason, like I want to say Steamboat, but I think Steamboat was with like $1 Million Man. I don't know. So let's see. This up next is an eBay purchase. So this is another 2-pack, right? This time around, as I said, it being an eBay purchase, I had to dig a little deeper into the pocket for this one because normally these 2-packs, I think they're $49.99. This one, I had months and months to buy this from multiple retailers at retail price. Just kind of kept forgetting to do it because I was kind of like out of the action figure buying for a little bit, because I was buying, I don't know what I was, I just kind of go through my phases. I was somewhere else. And then I thought about this the other day and I was like, oh my God, I never got that Dudley set. So I'm going to go get the Dudley set. Yeah, much like I was talking about with this Batman figure, they wanted all the money. This time around, though, I was like, oh, I'm giving it to you. Like, this is the Dudley boys. Like, we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Just about done here, people. These last boxes are bigger boxes. So that's going to be a bit of a mess for me. But it's cool stuff, right? So there is that. And it's actually all from Mondo, which is the live stream that has started probably about 4 minutes ago that I would normally be watching right about now. Because, I mean, I already bought the figure, the Evil Lynn figure. I made my little pre-order. But I like to watch that to see, like, what am I getting out of this, right? Because they did one for Orko a while ago. And it's crazy how, like, they built a whole Orko figure, right? But even though he's, like, under this cloak and stuff, you can still, if you were to actually take it apart, you would actually see, like, a full, solid Orko figure under there. And I just think that that's kind of cool. Like, them going that extra mile, putting that extra detail in there. You wouldn't believe the mess that's over there right about now. And I was 4 for 4 and getting those things in the box. Or maybe I wasn't. All right, let's go ahead and open this thing up here. All this plastic going on here. It's a little noisy, I get that, right? So, there's that. That side. There we go. Sky Sled, right? Sky Sled, again. So, I don't know why I felt like I needed to get this. I think it was because I watched that propaganda, basically, which is the Mondo Toy Talk, and they made it sound really cool, and then I bought it. And so now, whenever I get all my He-Man stuff opened up over there, I can sit him on it, right? And we're going to do this one next because it's the other big box, bigger even. So that's going to be a mess and a half, but it's cool. I got nothing else going on today. All right. I was going to watch TNA tonight because it's Thursday, and that's the thing that happens on Thursdays. But then I started doing this and kind of forgot about that. So, and even still, I probably would have missed it anyway because, again, the Mondo thing. So let's turn that around. I should really have like put that somewhere else because I feel like I'm gonna mess up this Batman thing. So these are usually, there it is. Where is it? 1 out of 500, right? It's not like the first one out of the 500. It's not like numbered in that way. It's just saying that there were 500 of these. This is one of them. So the thing is, if you're a Mondo person, right, you may be aware, but for those who aren't, when you go on their little web page, they put stuff up as like a timed edition exclusive or timed deluxe, whatever you call it, meaning you have 2 weeks. Like they will make as many of them as necessary based on however many pre-orders, plus a few extra ones, just to make sure that if somebody like doesn't get theirs or whatever, like if it gets lost in transit or it's broken when they get it, just having a few extras on hand just in case. The key thing to remember about that is that if you do like not get something, like if you don't buy it, those extras still exist. So if you keep up with them, they'll eventually sell those after everybody has possibly like contacted customer service, like a year later. Then they'll go up on the warehouse sales. Okay, so there you go. Celebrating Black History Month in some sort of way. You got Black Old He-Man right there. And his black cat, right? Kind of like Battle Cat, but black, right? So this is Anti-Eternia He-Man and Anti-Eternia Battle Cat, right? It said that on the box somewhere. Probably says it on this box somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, this thing, oh, there it is on the top. See that? There it is, right there. Anti-Eternia. This is not focusing so great because there's all that reflection going on. But either way, this thing will have to be shown in detail later because right now it's just, that thing is heavy, okay? Like, I'm not doing it. All right, so now I got a few figures, like just basic Mondo figures. And I say basic Mondo figures, like this is a basic Mondo figure. It's large because they're 1/6 scale, right? Which means they're often like say about a foot tall, right? Give or take, depending on the person, because they're all made for scaling. So yeah, something like Beastman or Omega Red, I think they were like 14 inches tall. I have a Scare Mare coming in a couple months to go with my Scare Glow. That horse apparently is like the biggest thing known to man. So looking forward to seeing that. All right, get this thing out of its little plastic prison here, if I can. All right, this one's gonna be Faker, which is kind of like Anti-Eternia He-Man, but it's blue, right? So there you go. There he is in all his blue glory. Bring that in just a wee bit for you, right? Got the fancy eyes and stuff. So the other ones, I thought they had some of the other ones had there it is. It's on the side. Let's pull that down there. So you can't really see into that so much, but as I was saying, the figure itself is kind of a larger dude. And then there's some artwork on the side of there, right? So it's a nice little magnet sort of closure on the top of there. Well, on the side of there, I should say. All right, set that there. We're going to lean Battle Cat down so I have some room to set stuff on top of him. We're getting there. I only got, what, this and then 3 more. And then, actually, then I'm going to talk about Captain America Brave New World, because I just saw that today, right? I mean, it just came out today, so I guess technically, like, the release is listed as tomorrow, right? But I don't know how the theaters are where you guys live. But for me, if I go out there and buy something, right? Or if I go out there to watch something, it comes out the day before online or on the theaters and stuff. Then you can go ahead and watch it. But usually like, they only have showings from like the late afternoon onward or something like that, right? So it's not like an all-day affair where you can go and watch it, but it's still like before the actual release day, which is good enough, at least in my opinion. All right, let's see what we have here. Open this thing up. There's going to be that. So I was just talking about this dude. What do you know? Omega Red, ladies and gentlemen. Does this have the moving tentacle things? It doesn't. The other box did, though. The first box where they made him, like the tentacles moved. it was kind of weird, and I felt like I was going to break them, but it was a cool effect. This time around, they don't do the magnet, they did Velcro. And that's what he's looking like on the inside. This one you can actually see more of, just trying to not knock anything over. So, you know, you got the 3 heads and Omega Red. Bring that in there a little bit. But anyway, so the difference being with this one, which one is it? So this is the Uncanny edition, right? So the Uncanny one, as it says down there, I could have just read it. The Uncanny edition isn't cell shaded. The other one is the animated Omega Red, animated series, like the X-Men, the animated series, right? Now this is going to be Rogue Uncanny edition. So with that, it's kind of one of those things where I wish they had made the Uncanny one first, because I would rather have had the Uncanny one, but they didn't do that. They led with the other one. They talked about the cool box and how cool the figure was, and I fell right into their little trap. Bought it. I mean, I don't regret getting it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if I knew that there were going to be 2, I would have bought this one. Same goes with this right here, because this Rogue is going to be the same way, right? They put out several, God, it was probably like a year or 2 ago. I don't even remember. It was a while ago that they put out the basic Rogue, like the animated series one. And then they brought out the Uncanny Rogue. So there's that. Let's go ahead and pop the top on here real quick. And there she is. That's Rogue. She's got like the one older hair, like on the left side of the screen there. Got like the hair that you often see, like all bushy and stuff. And then like the standard hair, right? So it's pretty cool. And again, like I said, large figures with lots of extra pieces. Now these things do come, they come fairly expensive. They do. I think, let's see, I'm going to call it $250. $220 to $250 is about where they range, right? Like the Orko, that one was like $250. But then I think Rogue might have been close to like $220, right? Maybe Cyclops. Some of the ones that are like a little more basic. And every now and then they do put the number on here. So this is, hey, Cyclops, I was just talking about that. So Cyclops, this is number 197 out of 1,500. So this one was a numbered edition, right? So that's why it has a number on there. When they do just like the pre-orders, then it's just kind of go in there within the time frame that they tell you to buy it. But this, you know, they said, hey, we're going to have 1,500. Buy it, don't buy it, but if you want it, be quick. All right. Let's see here. Get this out. What is that? Okay, that's fine. So, more tape somewhere around here. All right. Get this thing out of here. Is this the last one? No, this is the last one. Okay. Wrong side. There we go. That, Cyclops. So the difference between this one and the first one that they put out, this one doesn't have the coat, right? I think that's the thing. Right, yeah, so there's no coat in here, and something else is different about it. Can't remember what it was, but also you can't really see it so much, but from some angles you can. There you can kind of see like the cell shading like I was talking about, so they colored in to give it that animated series look. So when you look like around the abs and like the lower chest region, how it's kind of like darker, that's not shadowing like from the box. That is just how that's drawn. So when you look at like what you see on the front of this box, they paint the figure to look like that, right? So if you like cell shaded type things, and it says X-Men 97 on the side to give you that indication. So if you like the cell shaded type things, which I can see how some people may be for it or against it, then that's something to know. And actually, this is the other one. So okay, I guess I feel like this wasn't a recent arrival, like not at all. What's the date on this thing? There's usually a date on here, but I honestly am not seeing it, so who knows? Oh, wait, is that it? Yeah, this was sometime in December of last year, so because I can't remember which one of these, like when exactly these things came out, but the pre-order usually goes up way early, right? As far as like way earlier than when you actually see this stuff, which is cool in some ways because like then you kind of forget about it. All right, there's that. And so then you get this like email like, hey, your Mondo order is on the way. And I'm like, oh, fancy that. Now I have something to look forward to. But at the same time, as you can see, these things will sit here for a long while before I go and actually deal with opening them up. So last, certainly not least, this is the other X-Men Cyclops, right? So as you see this time around, he has fewer clothes on. I'm not sure what the deal is there, like what they're made to like show, but this one I do remember from like some era of comics, right? Just not the normal one that I'm used to. Bring these here side by side since I happen to have them both right here. Let's see if I can do this without. All right, yeah. So there you go. One looks like that. The other one looks like that. I'm sure you can figure that out for yourself, though. All right, so there we go. That's everything, right? Figure-wise. So that's looking wildly unsafe. I'm gonna have to make this relatively quick and not move too much. So that's all the figures, right? A lot of stuff has shown up. This wasn't all bought recently. Some of it was. Well, actually, a lot of the standard action figures were bought within the last month. These were bought in the last, probably like last year. Anyway, so let's move on. We're going to talk about, what was the movie? Captain America, Brave New World. Saw that earlier today. Thought I'd tell you guys my thoughts. So here's those thoughts. First off, before I go getting into this, they kind of showed the, remember like if you saw the Eternals movie, there's like that big celestial thing that's coming out of the water and then it's just like frozen there or something. So they were talking about that whole thing, right? Like, oh God, we got to go to Celestial Island or whatever they call it. And I'm looking at it like, wait, so I remember watching this Eternals movie and thinking to myself, I got to pay attention. This is the first one of the next wave. This is going to matter, right? Because like all the earlier movies from the first wave of Marvel movies, they all mattered. So let me pay attention. And I watched that movie. It wasn't very good. If you've seen the Eternals, you know what I'm talking about. I think I even saw it twice, right? Because my sister came up once and then we saw it again. And she was also underwhelmed. But either way, I get to the end of it and I'm like, okay, well, it wasn't great, but at least I know some stuff now. And I waited and I waited and I waited some more and then waited some more past that to see when anything from that was going to be relevant. Finally happened today. Wasn't worth it. Anyways, moving on. So the movie itself, right? I didn't know anything about it going into it because I try to not watch any trailers, try to not look up anything when people are talking about it at work. I like distance myself from it so I don't hear anything that I don't want to hear. I like to go in as fresh as I can. So going in, not knowing anything, I did hear from my coworker, he's like, oh, blah, 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 adamantium. And I'm like, wait, they don't know about that? Where's Wolverine been? But anyway, so I'm watching it and, it's got a decent story to it, They introduce a couple new characters, obviously a couple new threats kind of get brought into the fold if you stay till after the credits and such. So, but the movie itself, right, the story that they were telling, I was cool with it. The action was pretty solid in there. I mean, I'm sure that other people are going to go in there with different expectations, and I get that. Maybe what people want out of their movie experience, it varies from person to person, right? But for me, just going in there looking for something to entertain me for an hour and like 50 something minutes because runtime or whatever, that was enough for me. I was like the build up to the next team, like the next Avengers team or whatever. I'm curious to see like who's going to be in that. I've heard little characters popping up in like the Disney Plus series, so maybe some of them will be brought into the thing. I also saw the Fantastic Four trailer for the first time today. Not sure how I feel about that, but I'm going to hold my judgment. It's just right now it's not great, right? But anyway, so I'm looking forward to see where things go, right? Also saw that saw some articles saying, oh, certain actors might play Mr. Sinister, and I'm on board for that. Like big Mr. Sinister fan. But getting back to the whole thing, right? The movie, I liked it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was like a waste of time or anything. I'm curious to see what other people think, right? Because people usually get out there and point some plot holes or something like that. But I thought it was pretty well done. I mean, I didn't really care for looking at the leader dude a whole lot because he was kind of weird looking, but that's by design. But he was at least executed well. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as how they portrayed him in the thing. So this could be, it could be a sign that like the Marvel movies are going to be good again because they kind of had a bit of a drought, you know. But we'll see, we'll see. Let me know if you care to know. If you care, let me know how you felt about it, and maybe we can have some kind of chit chat or something. You know, there's a comment section on here somewhere. But anyways, that being that, oh, there's a thing there. I'm going, and hi, right back to you, whale. I guess is what that says. But that's it for me. For me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever is wherever you are. I'm going to switch things on over to this live stream that I've been wanting to watch. It's probably almost over, but I can actually, no, that's only 22 minutes in. It's probably still got a good like 20 or so to go. So I'm going to go watch that. And I don't have any videos to be edited anymore because I put up the last one last night. I got in one of those zones where I'm like, no, I'm doing this today. And I sat down on this here laptop, you know, just doing all that whole thing, getting the video up there, which is a lot more hassle than it needs to be sometimes. But I just wanted it over and done with. And so now I am until my next box from Brooks comes in, which is probably going to be relatively soon, I suppose. But that's what's going on with the channel in the future, in case you're wondering what's next. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Tomorrow, Marvel Masterpiece XL video, hopefully. I plan to do the unboxing tomorrow. Usually I do those videos the same day because they take little to no effort. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for me. I'm going to leave. I said that I was going to do that. Now this time I actually mean it. So thanks for jumping in, watching this, listening to it, doing whatever you were doing. I see like there's some people that were watching at some point. So that's cool. But now you're free to go. Later, people.